Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is doing well. Got a story about food, the supply chain, and how we need to pay attention to these stories because in a little while you're going to see the consequences of all these budget cuts that are coming out from Doge when it comes to not only just having food in the grocery stores, but also food that goes to our schools, that goes to rural communities and poor people, senior citizens. But a lot of these people who are receiving these cuts are the very people who voted for the administration to give them these cuts. So, ain't but so much of sorrow and pity you can feel for them because they didn't care about us. The downside is, we are a system codependent on these huge supply chains. So, what we will need to do is understand what's coming down and prepare for it. So, over the last couple of years, they have done a lot of different things to slow down the supply chain, to make food more expensive, to take away a lot of our options and make it so that when we're desperate, they can provide the solution whenever that time comes. So again, keep preparing, but you need to be winding that thing down because food is getting ready to be exponentially more expensive, and it's not going to be affordable, and we may not have money for it. So do what you can to prepare for whatever amount of time you can prepare, because things are really going to change quickly. So it says Oklahomans say USDA cuts could cause some farms to go under. Federal cuts to two food programs won't just impact the people facing hunger, but they are also hitting the bottom line for Oklahoma farmers. Federal cuts to two food programs won't just impact the people facing hunger, but they also are also hitting the bottom line of for Oklahoma farmers. Last week, the USDA, or the U.S. Department of Agriculture, canceled two programs created to support small farms and put local produce in schools and the food bank. Now, notice they're also doing away with Department of Education. So, if they're getting ready to do away with the Department of Education, then they won't need those food programs. So, the two things are going hand in hand, which is what people really need to pay attention to, and food banks. So if you have a food bank and that food bank is partially supplemented by the federal government, it is no longer going to do that. So this means senior citizens who rely on those subsidies, poor people, people in crisis, may not, something can happen, and any one of us need to go to the food. Sorry, my computer just sliding around everywhere. But you know, without these resources or these safety nets that taxpayers have paid for, people are going to starve. So this is going to be something serious. People are going to be fighting in the streets and taking stuff from each other, because there are more probably people who are unprepared, and not only just unprepared but poor. Not only did you not put back anything for hard times, but now that things are more expensive, there are no safety nets. There's probably not going to be TANF and other, like I said, safety net programs. It's going to be really challenging. So it's kind of easy to see how the Deagle report could say, millions of people could be gone 25, because they're setting a stage for it to be that way. So we just keeping watch. We're not predicting anything, just keeping watch and paying attention to what these folks are saying and doing. So it says operators of an Edmond farm said their business may not survive these cuts. I left the corporate world after 30 years and we moved out here to the country to start Indigo Acres with the purpose of growing healthy, healing food, Edmond farmer Kevin Marshall said. So, these people, they started a business with grants from USDA, stuff that we could never get. And, they were living lives, growing food, um, home, so to speak, and supplying food to the community with subsidies. And now they may not be able to survive. For a decade, the fruits of the labor at the small Edmond farm ended up on local families' plates. Now that's in jeopardy. Without the LFPA, if something happens today, I don't know what the farm looks like tomorrow. We may not survive this time, Marshall said. So it says previously, any produce that Marshall couldn't sell directly to customers was bought by the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma. That is now gone. The impacts of this are going to be devastating, Rachel Kretschmar of the OKC said. Indigo Acres is cutting back production by 65%. So they're cutting back production. That means other farms who relied on government assistance will probably also do the same thing. Because not only can you not grow as much, you don't have the help to help you pick it. And the very people that voted against the migrants, they're not going to go pick up the food. And I know they ain't looking for us to pick up no food. I'm going to pick up some, but it ain't going to be for nobody but me and who I got in my purview if I. So it's just going to be a very challenging time for everybody. So you got to be thinking proactively, trying to figure out how you're going to make ends meet and, support your own household. We are on our own, literally. So it says now I'm back to will I survive 2025? Will I return in 2026? 10 years into this, I shouldn't be feeling this way, but I'm scared, Marshall said. I relate to this particular feeling because I feel the same way. They keep telling you to do something. You do what they tell you to do and you'll be okay. And then you find out 10, 12, 20 years later, you still ain't okay. And that's just really discouraging in this system. So it's a lot of uncertainty for a lot of people who tried to do the right thing, who tried to make good choices, who are trying to help, your fellow brothers and sisters. This way of doing things in this system is just not sustainable. So it says the OK Food Hub was a distributor for local farms. It said this hit will have an immediate impact on the system. And so again, this is what I'm talking about. We are going to have a lot of interruptions immediately to local food systems with these cuts. So while you may not see it this week, but over the next couple of months, this growing season is happening now. People are going to plant less. You're going to find fewer things available. So this is the time you really should be starting to get seeds and grow your own food. I don't care if you got to grow some stuff in a container, in the ground. You really need to start preparing for famine. Definitely for food shortages and a lot of inflation. Lots of increases in prices because of the demand. There will be more demand than food available. So it says these programs were started in the pandemic with the intention of building up local food supply, Kretschmar said. So that's the other thing that, regardless of how about some of the things that five put in, he's doing. A lot of the stuff really are wasteful things or just unnecessary. It's like the order out concept, where they created a problem and then they introduced a solution, and so they're saying that they're helping you, but what's happening is just a lot of waste. So people are getting rich, and it's not, it's just not fair to the taxpayer. Now, it doesn't mean that this administration is really looking out for our best interests. To me, in my opinion, take it with a grain of salt. I just think that this administration is looking for ways to find money for things that they care about. And, at the end of the day, we're all going to have to pay for whatever it is that they do. So, again, you have to just protect yourself. So it says the USDA told cocoa it is returning to long-term fiscally responsible initiatives. With 16 robust nutrition programs in place, USDA remains focused on its core mission, strengthening food security, supporting agriculture markets, ensuring access to nutritious food. Unlike the Biden administration, which funneled billions into CCC funds into short programs with no plan for longevity, USDA is prioritizing stable, proven solutions that deliver lasting impact. The COVID era is over. USDA's approach to nutrition programs will reflect that reality moving forward, USDA said in a statement. So basically, this article is saying that they're removing COVID era funding that was meant to support farmers and local communities, because there's no longer COVID, and so it's almost like certain people, certain society were addicted to welfare, but they don't see it as welfare. But that's basically what it was. Is because you know at the end of the day, that's what it is. Um, so it says a lot of the food in the grocery stores are shipped in from out of the country. So this is truly local. Our food miles are measured in feet, not miles, Marshall said. Right now, with this program, if the community doesn't step up and buy all of our produce, we're going to farms in Oklahoma. So just know that this is dire, because it's not just Oklahoma. It's an example of what is going to happen everywhere, and we just have to really be prepared for it. So, feedback below in the comment section. Please like this video, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Follow me on Instagram, Rumble, and on Odyssey. The links are in the description. If you'd like to support the channel, it's all voluntary. There's no we, it's just the I. I do what I can to find stories will help my followers stay ahead of what is going on, and to make sure we're for all of the adversaries' devices. So if you like this type of content and you'd like to support me personally, the link for my Venmo is in the description, and I greatly appreciate it. And thank you to all of the contributions that I've received over the 30 days. I've received quite a few, and I really, really do appreciate it. They've helped me tremendously, especially in this slow economy with Colt 45 holding out, paying us. It's a challenge, but we're getting through it. Last, continue to prep, continue to pray, seek the Most High, obey His laws, statutes, and commandments as best you can. Study to show yourselves approved, because there are a lot of fraudulent people in this awakening who are giving out information. It's just bad and confusing. So just pray, where you're supposed to get your information from. Um, Again, just repent, keep the Sabbath, make sure and watch of all the activities that are going on, because this planet is hot with all kinds of stuff. And it's just so much stuff going on. It's really hard to keep up with. But, for basics, food, water, shelter, medicine, like those initial things that we need just, for basic survival, those are things that to me are really important and we need to discuss them. So the EU is telling their people to, I'm recommending y'all stockpile too. Even if you can't stockpile, get some extra stuff for, they say 72 hours, but it could be longer than that. Um, just be prepared. That's all I got. All right. So this is Marley K. Love y'all. And I am out of here.